Hello and welcome to Monsters, Magic, and Mathrocks. I'm Anna. I will be your DM for this tal'dorei adventure. I don't know why that word tripped me up, but it did. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Tegan. I'll be playing Jack. Pronouns she, her, and she is a human druid.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'll be playing Bastille. He is he, him, and he is a tiefling barbarian.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm playing Nico Blue, who is a tabaxi rogue, and his pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Oz. I'll be playing Adressae Nimbus. Air Genasi. Her pronouns are she, her, and she is a warlock.
Nimbus, cool.
Okay, so before we get started, I also want to give a quick little shout out to Joe for doing the incredible art that you see of all of the characters. You can check him out at joerocksart.com, and we'll also link that in the description. Okay, so last time, y'all met up in Western, got together on the mission that Nico needed to learn that some magic's real, because unless he sees it, he does not believe it. So you teamed up, you took a mission, and you went to the mines to see what was going on. After doing some recon and talking to some people, you did discover that there were Scarecrow Constructs going into the mines and stealing the ore. There was another type of construct, although it poofed into nothingness, so you weren't able to figure out what kind, just that it probably was also a construct. And we left off with you heading up to the farmers' houses to go speak with the farmers.
So it was... apologies.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
It was around 8 p.m., right? That's when we talked
Correct.
to Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not super late. Does it seem like the farmers are still up? Are there lights on in these houses, or are some of them?
Yeah.
So everybody's still up.
Everybody's. Well, there's lights inside. Some are brighter than others. Like some look like they might be a fireplace going that's starting to die down. Others look like they've got a fireplace plus some candles spread out, or some lanterns or something. It's a little bit brighter.
And it doesn't look like any of these houses are any more suspicious than the next.
No, they just look like regular old farmhouses. They're like an old house that's been well maintained. You can look at it and you can tell that it's old, but you know that it's not like fallen to ruin. They aren't letting it go to shit.
So nothing's in disrepair then.
Correct.
So I'd say we just go door to door then.
Okay.
Before we knock, maybe we should listen just to see if maybe we can catch whoever's creating these constructs in the act. Maybe we should listen at a window or a door or something.
How many houses are there?
4.
There's 4 of us. Let's split the party.
Oh God, that's not.
That's a horrible idea.
That is a horrible idea. Horrible idea.
Phone.
It's a quick way to get yourself killed.
Very.
I ain't exactly stealthy either.
You're kind of hard to miss.
All right, then I guess we'll just stick together. But I do want to listen at the door, at least at the first one, to see if we can catch any sound coming from inside.
Then you do that.
Well, I will. Thank you very much, Basti. Right, so I'm gonna walk up to the first one, the door, and just put my ear up, and I mean, just see if I can hear anything like chanting or whatever.
Roll a perception check.
Listening for the cult.
16.
Okay. So listening at the door, you do not hear chanting. You can hear that there is somebody in there moving around and doing things, but it's, evening. It could be just be like their bedtime routine or cleaning up dinner or something like that.
Who wants to knock? I ain't gonna do it.
I'll do it. Who's
Okay.
gonna?
So you knock on the door. It's a few minutes, and then the door gets pulled open, and you see a human female. She's got very pale skin, vibrant red hair threaded through with some gray. It's braided into pigtails. She looks to be probably in her 40s or 50s, but it's kind of hard to tell. She's a farmer out in the sun all the time, so probably has a few more wrinkles than you might otherwise expect. And like when I say pale, I mean like she's a pale person who's been tanned by being out in the sun. So like she's not like ivory or anything, but she's not, yeah. And she's got a smattering of freckles across her face. So she opens the doors. Oh yes, can I help you?
You wouldn't happen to have noticed the fact that your Scarecrow just up and left you, right?
She kind of peeks out the door, looking out in the field. Huh. No, I didn't know that.
Well, it's to put it mildly, or as simply as I can. Your Scarecrow and those of your neighbors were magically enhanced, it would seem, and well, they were animated, and we more or less had to destroy them. So sorry.
Animated.
They walked off on their own into the mine.
They've been causing some trouble for the miners. I don't know if you've been into town recently, but on the job board, something's been scaring the hell out of the miners and clawing some of the iron out of the mine, and so we went to investigate, and it was the scarecrows from these farms. You haven't noticed anything strange, any people maybe that you've never seen before come by in the last few days or weeks, have you?
Besides, you all know, not that I can recall, no. So my Scarecrow was behind old Jeremiah's problems this whole time.
Yours and the others, all of them.
Well,
Oh,
There was
goodness.
a bunch.
I feel I should
How?
probably invite him over for dinner. I'm sorry.
You sound like you're familiar with him, that you have a friendship, not friendship, but you're acquainted with him.
Oh, of course.
Are all of your neighbors also acquainted with him?
Yeah, when they set up, Jeremiah did come around and talk to all of us and introduce himself and let us know that if there's any bother or whatever to come seek him out. I don't know him, but he did come by to let us know that he was having some issues at the mine, mostly to warn us to watch out for our own things and to make sure that nothing gets stolen. And he thought it was a group of bandits at first, but I don't know.
You seem to have a fairly friendly relationship with Jeremiah. What about any of the other miners? Have you ever had a problem with any of them?
Oh, just the usual rabble. We've had some that got into some fights, and we did actually have some that were stealing from the farms, but we brought it to Jeremiah. He took care of it. Never lasted long.
What were they stealing?
The vegetables and things.
So none of your tools were going missing?
Not that I recall, no.
Does she seem on the up and up? Is she lying?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight. Oh, 19.
I did not hear that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. 19.
19. Yeah, she's telling you the truth as far as she can remember it.
Well, I am plumb befuddled here, folks. I don't know what our next steps are. Talk to the other farmers.
That might be our best bet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll do much more investigation. There is more farms without scarecrows.
So, all the neighbors' scarecrows are gone.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
And
Did I
Oh, go right ahead.
did I get a good look at the guy that was running from us? The one that turned to dust in the...
No, he was always like 60 feet away, or I think the closest any of y'all got to him was like 30 feet. I don't think, did any of you even get right up on him? I don't think so.
I think I was like 25 or 30.
Him.
I think I got dagger.
Yeah, I think I was about the same. I had it within so much feet.
None of you really got more than like a silhouette of him. I would say that from the silhouette, hold on.
Because if we could give a description of whatever that was, maybe that would be a little bit more helpful than just everybody's scarecrows left.
Yeah. Did we get a good enough look at him to tell he wasn't a scarecrow?
He was a construct, though.
Yeah, no, he was not a scarecrow, and you know that because the scarecrows all just fell into a pile of straw, whereas he disintegrated.
So maybe somebody saw this one actually walking around if it was convincing enough creature to look.
So you would get from the silhouette that this construct appeared to be bald. And for the most part, humanoid.
Okay. You don't know any... This is gonna sound so damn strange. You don't know any bald humans around here, do you?
I mean, there's a couple at the mine that are bald or mostly bald. Do you mean balding or just complete?
Like it's like no hair.
So one or two at the mine, yeah.
He's gonna be like, go, you all go on ahead, and he's gonna take a step off the porch and like stand off to the side, and I'll wait until everyone else is done.
One last question, if you don't mind, and I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here. Is anyone of the farmers or the miners who you may be acquainted with, have you noticed any changes in their behavior recently?
I mean, besides, I don't really know the miners all that well. I barely know Jeremiah. And the only change I've noticed in him is he seemed a little more scared than normal.
Anyone that's been louder about really being angry at the mine and the miners?
Not that I can recall now.
How long has the mine been operational?
Oh, gosh, I think Jeremiah and his crew came about a year ago.
Okay. Did you see anyone about that time that seemed unusual?
Oh. Nothing's sticking out in my head, no, sorry.
Okay. What?
Hold on, let me dispose of meowing right in the microphone. Okay.
Damn cats.
Guess DM.
Yeah, guess DM.
Okay.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time and apologize for disrupting your evening, Madam.
Oh, fuck, I didn't name this character.
Call her Anne. She looks like Anne.
Yes. You can call me Anne.
It's nice to make your acquaintance. And if you do happen to think of anything, we will be in the area for a little while longer. You can just come find us.
Okay, yeah. Good
Just
night.
Anne of the Green Stables.
Walk to them.
Somebody got that.
Yes.
Nice.
While they were talking, Bastile's going to point in the direction of the tent and cast message. He is going to tell Jeremiah to do a head count and see if he is missing anyone. To see if the construct could have possibly been a miner in disguise.
Okay. So, message, that's the 25 word or less one, or is...
Yeah,
that's sending messages.
It's sending. Okay, message. Okay, so message, you can, as long as you condense it down. Okay, so I won't make you tell me what you said, unless you really want me to.
120 feet, so I figured we're not that far from the tent. If he has to, he'll walk close enough.
Yeah, you're not far, but trying to... Visualizing 120 feet in my mind is just... It's not like they're far apart, but it's like you have these 4 farms. You're at the first one, so it's one of the first, the closest ones to the mines. But like you then travel a ways to get to the mines. It's not like they're right on top of each other. It's not like town. It's like
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if he had time, he would have walked over there. If not, then he's gonna hold back.
I mean, you'd have to walk probably like halfway back, I would say, in order for for you to get a message off. And having the spell, you would know that you would have to walk that far.
Yeah, then he ain't gonna waste his time.
Okay.
But he'll let the party know that that's what he thinks might have happened, is that if there's a miner missing, then 9 times out of 10 it's probably one of those constructs.
You might be right.
All the ones who have gone missing could potentially have been constructs.
Either that or they could be replaced by one.
Like they're snatching their
Some
bodies
of them, maybe.
and replacing
Like they're snatching the workers and then replacing them with constructs and then holding the workers hostage somewhere.
I think I read or saw a play or something about something similar where the people's bodies were getting snatched and replaced with other things that look just like them.
Adristea, make an Arcana check for me.
Sure. Arcana 6. Pen.
Okay, so even with a 10, listen, guest DM, it's not your turn yet.
Love
But
me.
I want to be on your shoulder.
I know. So
Blood
even with a
times
10, I know. Even with a 10, you would know that constructs are not like... You wouldn't be able to take a human and then replace them. You could reanimate a human who is dead, but they would then rot. So, like, it would be obvious after a few days that they were dead and reanimated. You can animate something that has been built, but there's no way to build, like, a humanoid that looks humanoid.
Well, it's a good thought. I'm not so sure that whoever this is could pull that off.
Well, best guess is to go to the next house and see what we find.
All right,
I think you're right.
let's move on along then.
I'll knock on the next door.
Yeah, you're the biggest of us. If something
You
needs to
do
go
that.
down, it's probably best that you're in front.
I stand beside Bastille.
I stand behind Jack.
I'll stand on Bastille's other side, I guess.
Fucking everybody just squeeze.
Like, in the world's smallest elevator, just
I'm still not
wide open.
done figuring out why Bastille is so angry.
That's the joke. I'm always angry.
Nice.
Okay. So,
Suppressed.
who's knocking? Who's knocking on the door? I saw the image of y'all like.
Bastille was not.
Bastille.
I'm knocking on the door, and apparently everyone's trying to squeeze in beside me because they're like, "We can't let you go first. We've all got to stand at your side."
I'm still playing good cop, bad cop.
Comrade.
Keeping an eye.
So you knock on the door. The lights in this one are a little bit lower, so it takes a little bit longer, but eventually somebody does open the door, and you see a halfling fellow with almost like a grown-out mullet of black hair, but it's very straight. He's got like a bandana tied around his head, and evening time you would think like maybe he like pulls that over his eyes, and then he just pulled it up to come answer the door, perhaps. He's got a tawny complexion and a friendly looking face. So he answers the door. Can I help you?
See over him since
Yeah,
nothing in his
Can I help you?
nothing in his house looks out of sorts, right?
Make a perception check.
Because like I don't know how wide his door is, considering he's a halfling, but
Yeah. It doesn't look like the house was built for halflings. From the outside, anyway.
you said perception?
Yes, perception.
21.
So with the 21, it's very low light in there, but it looks like the house wasn't itself made for halflings, but instead he has, or somebody has modified it to fit halflings. So instead of everything being, like the house isn't short, it's a regular house, like a average sized house, but like there's a lip going around like by the counter in the kitchen area for him to step up on, stuff like that. Like it's been modified for his comfort, but it does not look like it's not like a hobbit house.
Well, I was just making sure there wasn't anything suspicious in the house.
Sorry. No, you don't see anything suspicious.
Okay. So he's not going to go immediately into intimidation mode upon seeing that. He's just going to smile with his mouth closed. And I'm sorry to inform you, but your scarecrows made off and tried to run into the mines, apparently.
Miner stole my scarecrow?
No,
No.
it got up and walked off on its own. I'm guessing it got tired of its day job and decided it needed to go mining in the middle of the night, but
That's not what scarecrows do. They hang there.
it was a construct, sir.
Yeah, I was quite surprised too when I saw a group of scarecrows bearing down on us in the mine.
It was magically enhanced, I suppose.
I mean, if you say so, but I don't know anything about magic shit.
Did you buy a scarecrow from someone strange recently, or seen someone walk around on your property that you had questions about?
I mean, the only odd people on my property have been y'all folk, no offense.
No, none taken.
The Scarecrow's just kind of always been here.
Does Jack see any farm animals?
Ooh, good question.
Make an insight check.
New dice, who dis?
New dice, who dis?
16?
You do see a couple of cats wandering around between all of the farm properties. You see a couple of cats wandering around. That's it. No, there's are vegetable farms, so there aren't. They're like they don't have cows and chickens and stuff like that.
Jack walks off towards the cat.
Okay, we will come back to Jack in a moment. Y'all interrogating this farmer.
How long have you lived here?
Oh gosh, I've been here about 30, 40 years, something like that.
You've always had the same Scarecrow? You never had to replace it or anything?
I'm sure I've had to replace it at some point, but I don't recall doing it.
This is probably mighty forward of me, but please accept my apologies. But are you alone here? Do you have a family, a significant other, children?
I have a wife, yeah, but she's sleeping, trying to sleep like I was also trying to do.
Sorry.
And in hindsight, did it seem like the older Wendy lookalike? Did she seem like she might have had a family?
Let's do an insight check to see if Anne was on her own.
I'm sorry.
15. So with the 15, I would say that you think that she probably was alone, but you're not 100% sure. But you didn't see any evidence to suggest otherwise.
Okay.
Your neighbors, is there anyone that's newer in the area?
Oh well, I think Anne's the most recent one. She came here about 10 years ago, but nobody knew. I mean, the miners are new. They've been here for about a year.
During that time, did you see anyone unusual besides them?
No, nothing's really.
Just us, right?
Yeah, just y'all.
All right.
Now, this guy, again, does this guy seem on the up and up?
Insight check.
Something's off.
I agree.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Damn.
As far as he is aware, he is telling the truth.
All right.
You said you don't remember buying a Scarecrow to replace the old one?
I mean, do you remember when you buy a new pair of socks?
Actually, yes.
I don't.
Things are pretty tight. I remember everything I spend my money on.
I don't buy anything.
Wow.
Wouldn't you think Wouldn't you think you would remember buying something like that?
Odd enough as it is.
I mean, no offense, but have any of y'all grown up or worked on a farm? There are things that just you get when they need replaced. You don't really think about it. Scarecrows are one of them things. Like I don't know. I'm sure I bought one at some time, but I don't know. It's always felt like it's been that one. Maybe I've just bought a whole bunch that look the same.
Interesting.
Well, we will go ask your other neighbors.
Apologies for
Alright.
disturbing your sleep.
Yeah, if you have any further questions, they can wait till morning, okay?
Yeah, once again, we apologize. It's just that, people have been hurt, and we're just trying to get to the bottom of it.
All right, well, good night. And he goes back in. Are any of you trained in Arcana?
Yup.
I just stay and make an Arcana check.
Despite my poor roll before, 21.
21. Okay, so with a 21, as you're walking away from this house, you rethink the conversation. And when you were talking about the scarecrows and that weird hesitancy, the confusion about them, it sounds very familiar. It sounds like when somebody's been spelled to forget something. Specifically, it sounds very much like a modified memory. Now, you know there's other spells that can do something similar, such as suggestion, if worded correctly. However, those are short-term spells, so like they would need to be re-upped all the time, whereas modified memory can replace it permanently.
And I relay this to Nico and Bastille. It's very likely that...
Oh, right, Jack's off petting a cat.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, before we get to y'all's interaction about the Arcana check, Jack, what are you doing?
I am walking towards the cat. Don't dart towards the cat.
Yeah.
And casting
okay.
Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And I will...
Nice. Yeah.
Well, before you do that, I need you to roll an animal handling, because these are stray cats, to see if you can get close enough to these cats to have a conversation. Any of the cats.
Animal handling?
Yeah.
Boy. Animals.
While Tegan's rolling that, are there any barns or anything? Because I mean, even if these are like vegetable farmers, they've got to till the fields, which means they should have animals to pull a plow. Are there any animals around that could do that?
Like a donkey or a mule.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or a horse.
I would say that yes, there are. Each property has a barn, but it's like closed up, so you don't know what could be in it. Tegan, animal handling. What'd you get?
I got a 13.
13. Okay, so I would say that the cat allows you to get like 10 feet from it, and if you get closer, it will get up and walk away and then sit and wait until you get 10 feet closer, and then, one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I will notice that, and I will simply stop moving and talk from a distance and get low.
Okay, so you cast Speak with Animals. And give me a second, because I don't think there's anything. Oh, not speak animalese. Wow. Speak with animals. Don't know what animalese is.
Isn't that the language of the animals?
Animalese.
Apparently. Okay. Cool. Yes, okay. So what do you say?
I would like to ask a good brave cat, in your wanderings around these fields, have you noticed someone messing with these scarecrows?
Perhaps. What's in it for me?
Oh, there is. I can find you fish. Do you like fish? Most cats like fish.
Do you have fish?
Not on me.
Well, then perhaps when you do have it on you, I can provide you with an answer.
What are the odds that Josh has some kind of not Josh, Nico?
Josh, do you have any fish?
That I have some kind of aquatic jerky or something that I may have made at some point.
I mean, probably. Yeah, sure.
I'm not there though, but.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a humanoid version of a cat. Oh, that would make sense.
Catnip can also be crone.
Do I know what... Oh my gosh. Do I know what catgrass is?
Considering you're good, I'd say...
Yeah, let's do a history check at advantage and see.
History? Oh god.
Or catnip.
Yeah, catgrass or catnip, hopefully.
Nico definitely has catnip.
Fudge. It's a 10.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oof.
Okay. Let's see. I would say you don't know what either one of those things are, but you do know what cats and cat-like creatures in the Feywild like. And so you can grow the Feywild equivalent, you think, to catgrass or catnip.
Okay. Hopefully this won't make it trip balls.
Gotta get
I don't
this
think I
fucking
even
cat
have
high.
that. Nope. I can't druidcraft.
Oh, my
Shit.
Druid king.
Oh my god, that's too good.
I just say...
Give me a minute.
well, since I cannot give you anything right now, may I have at least a hint between minor or local?
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oh, my dice hate me. Of course they hate me.
Freezer treatment.
Ooh, well, it wasn't a 2. Oh, that took a journey. Persuasion 16.
16, okay. The cat looks at you in the way cats do.
Judgy and distant.
Okay. Neither.
Thank you, and I will be back with your treat.
And I will be here with an answer.
I go running over to the group, and I forget to turn off Speak with Animals, and I just start meowing and purring at everyone.
So I would say that Speak with Animals allows you to do that, but also you can speak in common, so you don't have to turn it off because it does last for 10 minutes. But you forget to switch to common, and yeah, you start meowing and purring.
Jack,
He's just
please.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
Jack just coughed a hairball.
I found out some information. I did not have treats. I was apologetic. We have to find fish later.
Oh. Any particular kind of fish?
Do you
Or just
have fish on you?
Of course.
Why do we need fish?
For my friend that I met over in the field over here.
Your friend
Look,
is
look,
Do
cat.
I see the cat?
a cat.
Yeah, there is a
Is there really a
white.
cat?
Yes, there. You see a white, kind of longish hair cat, just kind of sitting and watching Jack from a distance.
It was sort of a toss-up because I know cats are pretty sassy, so I expected a little bit of resistance with a request. But I got a hint. But if you have fish, Nico, can I borrow some fish?
Yeah. I got you covered here, Jack. Just let me find my my pouch. And
I'm also gonna just kneel down and just
pulls out like a little pouch and gets like a couple like little tidbits of like some kind of dried salted fish, something that's been treated to last for a while from the snack on. He's like, here, you can have these, and just give her a handful.
Handful. I smell them.
They smell terrible.
Perfect.
To your human
They smell
nose.
real fishy.
Yeah, they're rank. It's like
Oh my god.
it's like like catfish smells really fishy. It's like that.
I'm gonna kneel down and just create a. I'm gonna use Druidcraft to create some cat grass as well.
Okay.
Oh.
So is the whole group going over to this kitty cat?
I
Bastian's
say-
gonna try to hang back a little, but he'll be real curious. He wants to
I'm
see
gonna-
cats.
I'm gonna give her cat grass, but I'll probably hang back so cat's not crowded.
Yeah. I don't want to spook
Oh.
it. With a bunch of people walking up to it. So I'll step back to you.
I say to Adrastea, oh, that looks a lot like... Wait a minute. I say something in Sylvan.
Yes. Okay. Sure.
And so I take both.
Okay. You have about, I'd say, like 5 or 6 minutes left on your spell. As you approach the cat, it's sniffing the air.
I just sort of saunter over, let them see me, and then I yell, I have friends.
Well, and I have an answer. Yes, there have been some people here. The scarecrows leave every single night, go off, do something, and then when they come back, they just pop back up there. Occasionally, the humans here notice, and there's a blue-skinned dude who tells them to forget, and then once they forget, some other guy comes around, and he does something else that makes that forgetting a little bit more permanent. Can I have my
You
fish now?
suspicious people. Oh my goodness, yes. And I
And
put the fish.
you have fish and cat grass. It now comes up to you and is like
All the
eating the
cats.
fish out of your hands. Yeah,
And
it's like eating the fish out of your
I,
hands before you can even put it down. It's like in there, all up in it.
I wait for a couple seconds and I say, do you need scritches?
Please don't touch me. And then back to eating.
To each their own. But thank you.
Bastille in the background. I really want to pet the cat.
The cat don't let you pet it.
I run back over and I meow and catch myself. There are 2 suspicious dudes hanging around all of these farms. They mess with the scarecrows. They mess with the farmers.
Did they see where these guys go when they're done?
What did they look like?
One is blue.
And
And did you say, where did they go up, Anna?
like, where do they go after they mess with the farmers?
They didn't.
Yeah,
Kitty Cat didn't tell you
Kitty
that.
Cat
You didn't
didn't
ask.
say.
Okay.
Yeah. But Adrestea, when Jack says one of them was blue, that is enough of a clue for you to put together this construct, and you realize that this is a hypnosmagon, and that it's created using the create magnon spell.
MAGNEN.
Magen. Yep. Also, make an intelligence check.
Okay.
I'll also forget that I didn't tell them that the cat hint was it's neither miner or farmer.
14.
14. You would also put together that the blue mercury-like substance probably came from that creature.
Okay.
So this, what did you say it was there, Andrew?
A hypnosmagon.
And these beings inherently magical and able to fuck with people's memories.
Yes.
So you know that hypnosmagons can cast the suggestion spell.
Nice.
So they would not be able to modify memory. Hold on 1 second. Nobody.
Not
They were tag teaming. Maybe
not
one of them?
exactly. The hypnosmagon, they are constructs themselves,
They're constructs.
but they can cast suggestion. And when you use suggestion, it can create a forgetting of memory. And if what Jack is saying is accurate, if what the cat is saying is accurate to Jack, then someone is coming behind it and using a modified memory to make that permanent.
So
Cat said.
there's a construct that can is the suggestion spell, is that an especially powerful spell, Adra?
Not necessarily, no. It's
But
it doesn't last for very long.
but the modifying a memory more permanently, I got to assume that's quite a powerful spell.
It's
So Adra, with the combination of arcane rolls that you've had tonight, you would know that suggestion you can't make somebody forget something, because suggestion has to be something they're capable of doing, and you can't just make yourself forget something. But what they can do is suggest that they don't speak about this to anybody, or something along those lines. Basically shut them up, and that suggestion lasts about 8 hours. You also know that modify memory allows the caster to modify any, I think it's a 5-minute segment of memory within the last 24 hours. So also with your intelligence check that you had, you would surmise that when the hypnosmagon has to suggest the farmers forget something, they probably then go somewhere so that whoever has the modifying memory spell can come within that 24 hours and modify that memory.
right. I'm going to relay that to the group.
So they're within a single day's travel.
They have to be.
Do I see anything besides the barns that they could be hiding in, like a cave or any kind of shed or something? Because Bastille's going to just start flinging doors open.
So each of the properties has a barn. The farms themselves are kind of in like a plains area. And you have the mountains not too far off, and then some forest surrounding the mountains. So, I mean, theoretically, yeah, there's a whole bunch of fucking places where they could hide. There's forest. So it's like farm, forest, mountain with the miners. So you have a whole stretch of forest. The mountain stretch, it's the Cliffkeep Mountains. So I think that's the name of them, Cliffkeep Mountains. So they stretch for thousands of miles. But like within a day's travel, just within the forest and the mountains, yeah, there's loads of places they could be.
Good tracking skills to try to find out where the hell we need to look at.
Actually, maybe.
And also maybe.
Nope. Surprisingly.
I'm proficient in perception and stealth.
What about survival? That viewer tracking would fall.
Nah, not so great at survival.
That would be me.
Would love to know if we collected any of the blue mercury.
Oh, we did.
I think we did. I think somebody said, yeah.
I just collected a smell bag of the constructs.
I remember that. I think Adra did. I think
I collected some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you ever know that.
Yes, keep track, because I am not keeping track of what y'all pick up, so if it's not written down in your notes, you did not get it.
Noted.
So there's a few things we need to maybe discuss. How are the blue construct and its master traveling to and from this farming community? Are they in some kind of wagon? Are they walking? I mean, who knows? I mean, somebody who can change a person's memory. I mean, that person might be able to fly, as far as I know. I mean, shit, I'm learning a lot in the last 2 or 3 hours.
Well,
We know of, or does anyone know of someone living on the outskirts of town?
would I know if anyone could survive in the woods out there?
There's nothing about the woods that would make you think no. You do know that if you start heading south in the woods, that area is a little funky and might be a little bit harder to survive in. But the woods themselves, in general, no, they're just regular woods, so...
Okay.
Are there any rumors that Nico might have heard in Westrun about, like, just odd people up to no good, like in the forest or in the mountains, that people, just things that people chat about?
Make a history check.
This is going to go great. 6.
You don't really leave the city, so you haven't really paid attention to, like, when people start gossiping about what's happening outside the walls, you just kind of tune them out.
That's fair.
Well, I'm guessing that they wouldn't stay in the barns if they wanted to keep trying to cast these spells so no one would see them. So, our first bet's gonna have to be the woods.
Yeah, I would agree.
But if we're passing a barn on the way, don't think that I'm not gonna pry that lock off and I'm gonna chuck it into the grass and look inside.
We have to finish this investigation. Especially if we would like to get paid.
How far away is the forest?
The farms are abutting the forest.
So it's right there.
Yeah, give me a second. I will give you a little image guide. But yeah, like it's not like they're far away. Here's my shitty ass drawing here. The
Hold
top
it up
is
a
the
little bit.
forest. You got a little. I can't hold it up, or it's gonna blur my whole the whole
Yeah,
screen.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all can see, but it might not be on our stream. But yeah, so you see the top is the forest. There's a little path, and then there's the farms. So it's not like they're like right outside of the forest. So like I mean, you go like 80 feet from the two farms that you just visited, and you're at the forest. And then like another 120 feet through the forest to get to where the miners are and the mountains.
Okay.
He'll check on the edge of the woods, like right by the houses first. To see if he can't see any of the blue blood and start from there.
While I agree with Bass that the barns are probably a non-starter, we should just do our due diligence and check them out just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, if we pass any on the way into the woods, then he'd be looking inside of it.
They wouldn't exactly be on the way, but as you're going to the woods, like off to the side, you can see that there's the barn for either one is between the house and the woods on their property. So like as you're going, you kind of pass them, but you're gonna have to detour to go to each one.
And as we're walking, looking out for any signs of that blue mercury liquid anywhere along our path.
Okay, so are you going to the barns or to the forest?
I really think we gotta check out the barns. It's probably nothing, but we gotta look.
Bastille will hightail it to one of them and fling the door open.
I'm right behind him.
Okay, so I would say this is farm number 2, the halfling fella that you just talked to, and the door is not locked. And you open it up, and there is farming equipment, and in the very back there's like a donkey, a little stable with a little donkey in it.
Any blue liquid?
Investigation check.
I'll assist.
Oh, shit.
Or do it as well. Is your investigation high?
No, but I just rolled an 18.
Can't hear you.
Oh, fuck. Sorry. My investigation is not great, but I just rolled a natural 18.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to roll too, just to see what you get.
Bastille don't see shit. He's like, donkey.
Yeah.
So that's a dirty 20 for me.
Okay, there is no blue mercury in here.
Alright then. On to the next one.
Okay. So if you just go directly across the field, the road, and then Farmer 1's field, Anne's field, you can get to Anne's barn, which, again, is not locked. And if you want, as you throw it open, you see basically the same thing. It's farming equipment, and she has a couple of horses stabled in there. But we'll just keep the same investigation check and show that there is none of that blue liquid.
And are the other two, are they looking at the other barns just to make it efficient?
That's
Yeah,
fine.
do you guys want... Okay, so if
Yeah,
y'all
we
went
can
to the
go.
other two barns, just to wrap that up. It's the same thing. Like, you see farming equipment, some animals to pull shit, but one or both of you make an investigation check. One at advantage or both of you separately.
I got a 16 for a total of 19.
Okay, yeah, and you also do not see the blue mercury fluid.
Then it's the woods.
It's the forest.
At the very least, that means that the construct wasn't injured and holed up in one of the barns for a while or something. Nothing happened. There were no altercations with the farmers.
I would
I
say
think that what they wanted to do has been done.
Well, Bastille will walk the outskirts behind the houses to see if he can see the start of any of the blue blood or any hints that someone's been through there. And if he finds one, he's going to follow it.
Okay,
And
so at the if you go to the forest and you're gonna look around there, I'm going to have you make a survival check to see if you can find any track that you can follow, any trail.
I will follow behind him, and I don't necessarily have advantage on smell, I don't think, but I do want to check for any unusual scents.
That is a 19 for survival.
Okay. Nico, you can go ahead and make a investigation check for smelling something. So with a 19, you do find a very tiny path. It looks like maybe one person has used this path over and over and over again. And like, so it's a small path. It's not, oh, natural one. Nice. It's a small path, so it's not like a well-defined. If you weren't looking for it, you probably would have missed it. It's been overgrown a little with weeds and stuff, but you can see in the dirt that somebody has obviously been walking this same path a lot.
I will take my time to make sure I do not lose it and follow it as far as I can.
Does Jack recognize some of the shape of this foot?
There's no
Is it barefoot?
There's no foot. No, it's a path. Like, if you've ever gone hiking and you see, like, you have the main path, but then you can see where people have found their own path, walked off. It'll be like a track of dirt, but then there's grass, like, over covering the dirt. So, like, at first glance, you might not see it, but as you go through, you're like, hey, the grass in this one area is gone, but, like, some of the grass beside it has grown over it.
You found a broken twig on a bush.
Yeah, like it's not like there's no footprints. Yeah,
there's
no
another
footprints.
path that looks newer, like freshly trodden, but no prints.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Bastille will follow that as far as it goes.
Okay. You can tell just looking that it's not like a short path. So like if you want to follow, you're all gonna probably want to follow this.
I'll follow after Bastille.
If you don't mind, Bastille, I'm going to scout ahead a little bit just to make sure everything's on the up and up.
Don't walk too fast and don't go too far, or we're not going to be able to hear you or find you.
I'm not going to get too far ahead, only about 20 feet. I want to make sure nobody left any traps or anything for somebody who might be following them.
Okay, so our marching order is Nico, Bastille,
Adra,
and Jack. Okay.
And I'm only getting like 15 feet ahead. I'm not going real far.
Okay, pass without a trace.
Cool. And are you checking for traps along the way?
I'm checking for traps. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and if that's an investigation.
Yep.
What's a chip? Yeah. Okay. How do you check for traps?
You can be investigation or perception. It's DM's choice.
I will let it be your choice since
then I'm gonna
as a
perception.
rogue. Yeah, I was gonna say as a rogue, I feel like you would know how to do this. So whichever one's higher, go ahead and use that. And then if you're all trying to be quiet, I'll have you all roll a stealth check as well.
Right, I'm gonna roll my stealth
and
check
add
first.
and then add a plus 10 for pass without a trace.
19 total.
29.
31.
Bastille is silent.
29. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
You're quiet.
Y'all feel you feel very, very quiet. Now, as you start heading into the forest, it is like it's nighttime. The forest is thick, so off the road where the trees have been cleared to allow moonlight in, it's dark. So if anybody doesn't have dark vision, you're gonna need to figure out a way to stay with the group.
He's gonna grab onto Bastille's shirt.
Bastille's going to lift his tail up so that way it brushes Jack's arm. So that way you can grab a hold of it if you need to. Because he can see.
I would give you my moon touch short sword as a loner, but I really don't want to gather anybody else's attention right now.
No, let's
I'll
not.
just
I'm just gonna grab onto Bastille's shirt.
You now have a
Yeah.
hold of my tail, Jack.
And that's
There are spikes on that. Be careful. He'll let you know.
That is a 22 on my perception check for traps.
Okay. So as you're going through, you do not notice any traps. So you all travel. I don't know how far you want to travel before seeing anything, but so we'll check in after about an hour. The trail's still going.
So at this point, between us investigating the barns and talking to everybody,
Josh.
Sorry, forgetting. Between investigating the barns and all the conversations and talking to the cat and everything, and then walking for an hour, we're at what, 10 o'clock, 9:30?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Yep, that sounds about right.
How far do we want to go, folks?
Can Bastille see anything in the distance around them that would be standing out in the woods? Like any light or any noises that don't sound like animals?
Make a perception check.
That is a 14.
With a 14, you don't really notice anything. You do know that the trail, while it started heading west back towards the mine, it did curve and start heading south. So you are now kind of heading mostly south, but slightly west as well, towards the mountains, but south.
Could I judge how long this could take for someone to get into town and then back to wherever they're hiding? Would this be a path they would take?
It possibly could. You've gone on it for an hour, so you would know that in order to do that modified memory spell, it needs to be within 24 hours. This is 2 hours of it. Getting the Magnus going there, getting the person and coming back, it wouldn't be a round trip. So, this is about 2 hours now. So you would estimate that it could go anywhere from another hour to another 7 and still keep that person well within the 24-hour period.
Okay. I would relay that information to everyone in the group, that this could still potentially be a path someone could take. It just depends on what we find at the end of it. I mean, obviously someone's had to have come out here. Animals don't trod in a specific direction like this.
Yeah, I mean, I am inclined to agree. Maybe we keep going
Also,
for another hour.
Nico, since you were scouting ahead, I would say when you stop when everybody, you stop to come back, with your trap finding thing, you also notice there's another path jutting off of this one, but it's heading north. So you would put 2 and 2 together that maybe this is where they split, going to the mine versus going towards the farm.
And we don't need to head toward the mine, so I think we need to take the other way.
Alright.
I would say so.
Jack, you good back there?
I don't know how risky it is to continue in the dark, but it is when they make their trips with their constructs.
Yeah, if
So
we're
watching the path.
If we're going to keep going, we need to keep a keen eye out, and if we're going to perhaps take a rest and wait and resume tomorrow, we need to do it off of the path a little bit. Trying to stay hidden.
Stay hidden and see if
See
we can
walk
see
by.
them.
Well, let's get a little bit further and see what
But
we...
I figure anything that they were going to do tonight, they've already done.
I would say so.
Yeah, considering
the
that we just
Scarecrows.
murdered them.
Yeah.
And they don't know that we've done that yet.
Right.
No, if it's a day trip.
Can a magic person, can they feel it if one of their constructs is destroyed?
That I don't know. My research into any of this is very passing at this point.
Again, I'm just
So I
throwing knives in the dark and seeing if I hit something.
I can't say that they do.
I don't
I
really
mean,
know what constructing things takes.
A construct is just a tool. So unless it's got a relationship of some sort, or it requires blood from them, I would say probably not. They probably wouldn't know yet.
Then, like I said, since we have the element of surprise at the moment, we keep going a little further, see if we can see anything. If we don't, then we go off the path and take a rest.
I would agree.
All right, then.
Okay, so how long are you willing to continue down the path before you break for the night?
About another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my
So,
thought.
if we see anything, then he's going to keep going. But
Yeah.
if not, then
Like,
he's going to take a rest.
Just long enough to where we would wake up for the day at sunrise.
Okay. So yeah, I would say probably about another hour, because that would, to get your long rest of 8 hours, that would put you waking up at 7 a.m. Because, yeah, you're going to do watches. I'm not counting those as part of your rest. Like, people can sleep on 6 hours, or do shit on 6 hours of rest, so,
Yeah.
of sleep. So, watch is still just sitting there and being restful, so it doesn't count. So, another hour's worth of travel. You don't see anything that's making you think that you're getting any closer. It's still just a path. You haven't come across anybody. There's still no traps or anything. Do you guys want to set up camp for the night?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
we'll go like 20 feet off of the path, but I want to mark our way because it's easy to get lost in the forest. I want to be able to
Okay.
find our way back to this path.
Okay. Somebody make a survival check to see if you can find somewhere off the path where you're going to be hidden from the path.
I got you.
I'll assist. Well, no, I won't, because I don't have any kind of proficiency with that.
Well, if you assist, then I can roll twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless you. That is a natural 20
Okay. So
and a
yeah.
7.
So yes, Bastille, you are able to find a nice little area where you can camp without being seen from the path, but that whoever's on watch would be able to hide and still be able to see both the camp and the path. So I think this is a good spot to go ahead and end for tonight. And we'll pick up next session with your watches.
Sweet.
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode section. I don't know, what are we doing here? Of Monsters, Magic, and Mathrocks. Again, I'm Anna. I've been your GM for this tal'dorei adventures. Thank you to my players. Thank you to us, to y'all for watching us. I'm so good at this.
Thank you to
and we'll
us.
Yes.
You're trying.
Anyway, yes. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you